This is long overdue, but I shared my Crusader dungeon build a while back before the amazing Crusader update, which added the Yawning rows for the shoulders, skyrocketing the Crusader DPS to the charts, making them one of the top DPS classes in Diablo Immortal. Hello and welcome, I'm your host Gadd, and my co-hosts for today's video are the twins, Sage and Rose. And today's video will show you my updated dungeon build for the best class in the game. It's not the highest Crusader DPS build, but this build does huge AoE damage, great single target team DPS, fast team dungeon clears, and using the ultimate for this build is epic fun. But first, I want to say thank you for all the love and comments on all my videos, Discord, and in-game. Shout out to all of you, I appreciate you all for great questions, and thank you again. Cheers to you, gang. Alright, I'll be going over the skills and legendaries, skill rotation, paragons, green sets, curse sets, Reforge Bonus, and legendary gems. Timestamps will be in the description below. Skills and legendaries. Judgment. On the shoulders, Yawning Rose to activate Trial by Fire. Judgment now calls bolts of fire to fall continuously in an area around you, striking random locations once every 0.5 seconds and burning enemies. Taking a look at the detail in the skill menu, at base 70k damage over 2 seconds. Condemn. On the chest, Heart of Grandier to activate lightning in a bottle. Condemn now conjures a condensed lightning that follows you, dealing damage to 6 nearby targets. Next, the cream of the crop. On the offhand, Torrential Refrain. Condemn immediately triggers all continuous damage on targets it hits, causing them to take the remaining damage instantly. Basically saying all damage over time debuffs will do instant damage for their total duration on the targets. So more dots, more damage. Holy Banner. For the helm, errant ignition to activate Standard of Flames. Holy Banner now mounts a Standard of Flames to your back that bolsters the primary attacks of all nearby allies to burn enemies. I am also running a 4-piece Holy Banner magic attribute that also adds a 20% attack speed buff while Holy Banner is active. It reminds me of using the Shaman skill Bloodlust from Melee. And on the offhand too, Unholy Wall, making allies affected by Holy Banner increase their movement speed of you and all allies by 12% to a max of 60%. I use this just to add a pep to the step to my teams for clearing dungeons faster and reducing the cooldown on Holy Banner. I recommend changing to Gates of Hell or any offhand 2 adding damage increase. Drawn Quarter. For the pants, Light Strider to activate the twins. Drawn Quarter now summons 2 horses of light that charge at enemies, damaging them and causing knockback. Twins summons have 100% of your total damage and stats and can be buffed by all beneficial effects. Punish. This is my choice for primary attack for the damage and ultimate. I recommend Sacred Fire for better DPS and more dots. Using the Observer on the main hand 1. Enemies struck by Punish take increased damage from subsequent hits for 2 seconds, stacking up a max of 57%. Making attacks done to the target take increased damage over time. And on the main hand 2, the Wretch Splitter. Punish now applies a wanted mark for 3 seconds, increasing the movement speed of you and your allies by 28.5% while moving towards an enemy, the wanted mark. This is the new Inferno 5 Punish legendary essence. Using this for the awakened damage bonus for Punish and tagging enemies to speed up teammates that are falling behind. Counteracting Storm, the ultimate. The Punish ultimate, enhancing Punish for 12 seconds, striking all enemies in front of you, increasing the damage per hit and increasing its block chance bonus. Also gaining a shield that absorbs damage equal to 20% of the maximum life, 5 seconds. This ultimate procs Observer damage bonus on all targets hit, but at the time of this video it doesn't apply wanted mark from the Wretch Splitter. After completing the main storyline, Sword of Justice increases the damage to bosses and elites by 10% when the ultimate ability is active. This just feels amazing, being able to ultimate and be useful at the same time. Skill rotation. For the skill rotation, start off with Drawn Quarter, followed by Holy Banner, primary attacking into Judgment, followed by Condemn. This will stack Burn and any other dots applied on all targets. Once Condemn hits, up to 6 targets, Torrential Refrain will trigger doing instant damage from all dots on the targets. Running a 4-piece Vitus and Eternal Holy Banner affix will stack, increasing you, your summons, and your teammates' attack speed. If the ult is ready, use it on elite mobs or bosses. Drawn Quarter, Holy Banner, Ult, Judgment, and followed up with Condemn and smash away. Paragons. For the Paragon, at the time of this video, I'm running a Vanquisher for the XP, Gold, and Treasure Find bonus for the Inferno 6 grind. But for a boss only mode in challenge dungeons, I run the Slayer Paragon. Equipping Deterioration, damage over time is increased by 10%. Tempo and up to tempo. Using primary attacks increases primary attack speed, stacking up to a max of 20%. Efficiency, increasing primary attack and ultimate damage by 7%. and Rupture. Enemies suffering from 3 damage over time effects explode, dealing 32.5% of the base damage to all nearby enemies every 10 seconds. More dots. And for the legendary Paragon skill, Death's Release. Continuous damage, harmful effects expire. They explode, dealing 30% of their total damage to all nearby enemies every 10 seconds. Slinger Paragon also works very well. Green set. For the green set gear, I recommend 4-piece aimants. Duration of additional ignite status is increased by 30%, and a 50% chance of attaching an ignite status to an enemy when dealing damage with primary attacks or skills, dealing damage over 3 seconds, up to a maximum of 3. You can see these stacks above the target's head. 2-piece Vithu's Urge, increasing the duration of all beneficial effects on you and your party members by 30%. Extend all buff durations, including Judgment and Condemn. 2-piece Feasting Baron, increasing the duration of harmful effects by 30%. So damage over time effects duration on enemies will extend, increasing the overall damage with turn to refrain procs. For the cursed gear set, I recommend 6-piece Nettled. After gaining a shield for the next 6 seconds, every time you are hit, you will counterattack, dealing 40% of your damage to all nearby enemies. Additionally, damage dealt to enemies hit by counterattack is increased by 60% every 30 seconds. This is great for AoE damage and adding increased damage debuff to nearby enemies. 2-piece Ghosted, granting an illusion with 40% of your life when you use a buff skill. The illusion will take a portion of your incoming damage and last for 6 seconds every 90 seconds. Great for reducing damage by transferring the damage to your illusion. Reforge Bonus. Balls. For the Reforge bonus, which I'm still working on at the time of this video, I recommend running from the wild set crit hit damage increase on all gear pieces, all damage increase, and or damage done to targets under 30% increase. From Vengeance set, attack speed increase on all pieces, damage done to demons, and or damage to enemies suffering loss of control increased. And from the Jolt set, duration of beneficial effects increased on all pieces. This will really min-max any build for all PvE game modes. Legendary gems. For the legendary gems, these will be my recommendations for a core legendary setup for the class for all game modes. 5-star legendary gems, Bloodsoaked Jade, increase all damage you do while at full health, increase movement speed, and take decreased damage while below 50% life. Rolling Consequence, dealing damage sends you into a rolling rage, during which your crit hit chance is increased, and crit hits cause a fiery explosion that burns nearby enemies for 3 seconds every 20 seconds. Crit hit damage against burning enemies is increased. These are the top tier 5-star gems in Diablo Immortal. I highly recommend focusing. 2-star legendary gems, Pain class, increasing damage dealt to enemies suffering from continuous damage effects, increasing your movement speed and enemies suffering from continuous damage within 10 yards. Viper's Bite, damaging enemies poisons them with Viper's Venom, causing them to take base damage plus additional damage every second for 6 seconds. Viper's Venom also reduces the enemy's attack speed. More dots, more damage. 1-star legendary gems, Misery Elixir, the duration of harmful effects you inflict are increased. Damage you deal to enemies suffering from harmful effects is increased. The remaining slots I'll leave up to you and your luck in the rift, but a few other ones I recommend and see on others. Everlasting Torment, critical hits inflict agony, dealing a % base damage plus additional damage every second for 6 seconds, while increasing your attack speed for each nearby enemy affected with agony. A Blessed Pebble, increasing the duration of beneficial effects and movement speed after using a beneficial effect skill. This increases the duration of your Judgment and Condemn skills for 100% uptime. Lastly, Berserker's Eye, increasing all damage you deal, but also increasing your damage you take by 5%. Crit hit chances increase. The 5 core legendary gems I recommend are pretty much going to skyrocket your DPS in all PvE and PvP game modes in Diablo Immortal. Alright, this Dungeon Crusader build is just one of many, and there are so many different ways to play it. Main DPS coming from the shoulders, Yawning Rose, which drops in front of 2 and up for Judgment. On the chest, Heart of Grandier, and the offhand Torrential Refrain for Condemn. Using Firebrand will increase you and your party's DPS, burning down bosses and large mobs. Light Striders from the pants to summon the twins will add additional dots and damage to enemies. If you run a 4-piece Vithu's, increasing the attack speed of you and all party members using a beneficial effect by 30%. This stacks with the Holy Banner Eternal Gear attack speed, will skyrocket your team's attack speed and make the twins attack so fast they spaz out. But I highly recommend running a 4-piece Aimment for the additional burn damage over time, and 2-piece Baron decrease the duration of harmful effects. You'll have more dots and they will also last longer on the targets and do tons of damage. Green sets are key for the in-game content. The curse set gear nettle can proc from any shield that you obtain from pets, teammates, or legendary gems. Speaking of legendary gems, having a core gem setup is another game changer and will grow your character overall. I have a legendary gem guide if you want to learn about that and recommendations how to build them. I'll have a link in the description. Alright, if you like this build, don't forget to save it to your armory. This is what I always run for dungeons if I'm not being lazy, and it's a ton of fun. But that is it for today's video. Shout out to everyone for the love and comments on the videos. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, message me in game or on Discord. I'll have a link and my information down below. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Good luck and have fun. See you next time.